Hello, welcome to your social studies activity. This is an activity that goes along with your social studies lesson this week about mountains in North Carolina. This week we are reading folk tales for both of our activities in science and social studies. Today we are going to be reading a folk tale called The Stonecutter. This story is retold by Betty Yee and illustrated by Ku Lee. While we're reading this story, I want you to think about how this connects to our lesson in social studies about mountains in North Carolina. Yes, this story does not take place in North Carolina mountains, but these are some mountains elsewhere. We can make connections to our world with this story. Let's start reading. The Stonecutter. Our focus question for this book is, what lesson does the stonecutter learn? Often in folk tales, we find a lesson in the story, something that we can take away. If you look at the title page, you can see a picture of a mountain with a face. And there is a man on the side of the mountain, and he has a big hammer. We can use this picture to make inferences about the story. That's what's great about the title page. Here are some of our vocabulary words: emperor, Japan, merchant, spirit, stonecutter, and wept. An emperor is a leader in Japan, like a king. Japan is a country. A merchant is a salesperson, someone who sells things. Spirit. Spirit can mean a lot of things. I believe in this context, spirit means maybe like an ancestor or a soul, like there's a spirit in the mountain. Stonecutter, that's a job. Somebody is a stonecutter. They cut stones. Wept is to cry. Long ago, there lived a poor stonecutter in Japan. Every day, he cut stone from a mountain. The stonecutter was proud of his work. He was happy. That was a lot of information to digest. Did you see our two vocabulary words in there? We have stonecutter and Japan. And if you look at the picture, you can see the stonecutter. He's very proud. Let's turn the page and keep reading. One day he saw a merchant. The merchant had many beautiful things. The stonecutter was sad. He did not have any beautiful things. All right, so if you look at the picture, you can see a merchant and he has beautiful rugs and tapestries. And it makes the stonecutter sad because if you look at the stonecutter, he just has stones. Let's keep reading. I wish I were a merchant, he whispered. The spirit of the mountain heard him. Poof! He became a merchant. Oh, okay, so he made a wish. He wished to be a merchant or a salesperson, and the mountain made it come true. Have you ever heard the phrase, be careful what you wish for? Let's keep reading. A month went by. One day he saw the emperor. The emperor had beautiful clothes. The stonecutter was sad. He did not have such beautiful clothes. Oh, so now the stonecutter became a merchant and got the things that he wanted. And he sees the emperor and he's envious of the emperor too. He wants to be like the emperor with beautiful clothes. Let's keep reading and see what happens. I wish I were the emperor, he said. The spirit of the mountain heard him. Poof! He became the emperor. I have a question for you. Can you tell me the three things that this character has been in our story? Do you remember what he started out as? A stonecutter. And he made a wish, and what did he become? A merchant. He made another wish out of envy, and what did he become? The emperor. Let's keep reading to find out what happens next. 2 months went by. One day he saw the sun shining brightly. Again, The stonecutter was sad. The sun was stronger than he was. Hmm. Based on the series of events that we've seen so far in this book, what do you think that the stonecutter is going to do? What do you think? Let's see if you're right. I wish I were the sun, he cried. Poof! He became the sun. Oh, you have to be careful what you wish for. Let's keep reading to find out what happens next. Then wind blew a cloud over the sun. The stonecutter was angry. Oh, so he's been sad up until this point, and now he's angry. Let's keep reading to see what happens next. I want to be the wind, he yelled. Poof! The stonecutter became the wind, but he was still angry. He could not blow the mountain around. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. Let's keep reading. I want to be the mountain, he screamed. Poof! He became the mountain. The next day, he felt something cut into his side. It was a stonecutter. I want to be the stonecutter again, he wept. Poof! He became a stonecutter, and he was happy. Let's talk about that story. It's a folk tale with a circular story. That means it begins and ends the same way. In this story, our character, the stonecutter, learned that he really wanted to be a stonecutter, but he had to experience these different perspectives to see that he could be happy as he is. Remember when he became the merchant? First, he became the merchant, and then he was envious of the emperor, and he became the emperor. Then he was envious of the sun, and he became the sun. Then he was envious of the wind and became the wind. Then he was envious of the mountain and he became the mountain. And finally, he returned to being the stonecutter. And he was happy. Thank you so much for reading that story with me. I hope you had a great time doing this activity and making connections to mountains because we were talking about mountains in social studies. I'll see you next time. Bye.